So let him join. Let me also check the stream quality. And yeah, I think we should be live right now.
ये एसक्यूएल ऑनलाइन कर रहे हैं, ऑनलाइन
हाँ
कंपेयर
हाँ
में।
हाँ, दिस इज ऑनलाइन। उसका भी मैं रीजन बोलता हूँ। सो लेट मी सी। ओके, दिस लुक्स गुड इनफ। Is Somojit here? Has he joined?
ये एसक्यूएल ऑनलाइन कर रहे हैं, ऑनलाइन
हाँ
कंपेयर
हाँ
में।
हाँ, दिस इज ऑनलाइन। Okay, check. Let me start then. So why I'm doing this online right now is because you will have this kind of views of the tables. Okay. Now, if I just show you, suppose you want to do SQL on your offline like laptop. Okay. So I know that you guys will be using a Windows system. Suppose, but I am using a Linux system. So I can just do MariaDB. Okay. And yeah. So there is one, like, I think reset. Oh, it's fine. That's just another error. Ignore this part. Okay. See, this is a package that I have. MariaDB. Okay. So what is MariaDB? MariaDB and MySQL. So if you just go MariaDB, okay, the MariaDB is just a fork of MySQL. What do I mean by a fork? That means this is just like MySQL, but this is open source. Okay. So if I just go to MariaDB's website, this is MariaDB Foundation.org. Okay. Remember that in websites, we have these domain names. Okay. And there are extensions to domain names, and these .org means organization. So I don't know why MariaDB is taking so long to load. Let me just do an accept all. No. So this is their website. Okay. Now if you go to download, just go to their download page. Maybe why is it so slow? Let me see. Let me do a reconnect. If I do a reconnect, will the stream stop for a few seconds? I might get out of the meet for a few seconds. Let me see. I did a reconnect. Am I still in the meeting? Yes, I'm still in the meeting. Fine. Okay, see. Can you see this web page? This is the MariaDB's web page. So this is just like SQL, but this is open source. Okay. That's why I like it. That's the only reason. Okay. Now you can just
ओपन
select
सोर्स
your.
में थोड़ा डिफाइन कर सकते हो?
हाँ, बोल सकता हूँ.
ओपन सोर्स से मतलब
Sure. So basically open source or closed source. So a very good example would be your Microsoft Windows. Okay, so if I go and see, let's say I want to download Microsoft Windows 11 ISO. Okay. So if I go here, I can download the ISO. So I can basically install Microsoft Windows 11, 10, whichever I want, operating system I want on my laptop or PC or anywhere that I want. Okay. The point is that even though these are freely distributed, the term you should remember, freely distributed. But suppose I want to edit Microsoft's operating system and I want that edit to be propagated to everyone. Basically, I want to contribute to the development of Microsoft. I really need to get a job at Microsoft and their internal basically hiring and everything. And then again, the corporate and all this stuff. Because the thing is that all the development that is done to the Microsoft's Windows operating system, it is behind their company. This is closed source. Okay. Now, if you come to Linux, let me just search, say Linux, and just do the GitHub search. You will see Torvalds or Torvalds. Okay. Linus Torvalds, who's the creator of Linux. Okay. He's the one who wrote the Linux kernel. You will see that all his source code is there, openly hosted. You can look at the kernel programs. Okay. How everything, like you can even look at the security program how everything is written. Okay, you can see that, okay, these are the things that is there in the kernel. Okay, like these, let's say, let's look at something, say keys. Okay, so you will find that a lot of this key.c is there. Okay, this was last updated 3 months ago. Something got added to it. Okay, now you will see that this is completely written in C, like the kernel that I'm running on, basically my laptop is running on, is completely written in C. Okay, now understand that even though this is completely written in C, this whole program and the source code is available on GitHub, and anyone can view it, anyone can see it. That's the essence of having a closed source. Okay. No, sorry, open source. Why I'm saying is closed source. It is open source. Okay. And this is freely distributed. So anyone who wants to distribute Linux, let's say, as their own operating system, a good example would be Ubuntu. Okay. So suppose Ubuntu wants to create their own, they of course have their own operating system, which is the Ubuntu operating system. Okay. Now the point is that suppose Arch also wants it. Suppose, let's say, Red Hat also wants it, and everyone can create their own flavor of Linux. Okay, which is very nice. But can anyone create their own flavor of Windows? The answer is no. Okay,
No.
and that's where the open source and closed source things collide. Okay, because closed source means it can only be developed by that company. Open source means anyone who wants to contribute and develop it, they're free to develop it. Okay. Another example would be the languages. Let's say your Python language. Okay. Or any packages, say NumPy package. Okay. NumPy GitHub. Okay. If you just search NumPy GitHub, you will find that NumPy has their own GitHub page. Okay. Where they update their source code. And you will see that a lot of things that NumPy does is written in C. Okay. I don't know if this shows, but yeah. C. Branding, logo, documentation, and all this. Okay. So if you see, 33% of NumPy is written in C, 3.5% in C++. Rest don't mind this thing. Okay. But just understand that that means this whole program, you can basically take NumPy and probably you can create your own flavor of NumPy. Okay. Do you understand that? This is what it means to be a open source program. So it could be a package, it could be an operating system, it could be a kernel, it could be even browser. Like if you know that Firefox is a browser, so the engine behind the Firefox is called Gecko engine. Okay. So if you go to Gecko GitHub, this thing, no, not this one. I forgot it is called Gecko. Okay. GCK. This is also like open source. Okay. Yes, this is the GitHub page. So see, this is totally, and you can even contribute. Suppose you know good enough programming and you want to add more features to it or fix any bugs to Firefox, you are of course invited to do that. Okay, get it?
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
that's where this kind of small discussion ends. Let's go to SQL. Okay, so what I was doing, yeah. So here I was going to introduce this MariaDB. So on your system, you will choose Windows and yeah, choose MSI package or if you want zip, whatever, and then download it. Okay. And you can choose any of the mirror that you want. Probably IIT Delhi will be a good mirror, or you can choose any of these. Okay. Mirrors are basically means your nearest server. So don't worry about it much. And just download the package, then just install it. Okay, you can follow any standard YouTube guide on how to download it. I can just do this thing, yay MariaDB, and I will just do this and enter my password, and it should be downloaded. Okay. Now the point is that I could have gone through this, but the way that Linux will handle a lot of this through the terminal will be different because Windows has got this UI for it, and the UI will be similar to this what you are seeing. Okay. So, and one more thing is that you probably don't even need to install MariaDB unless and until you are developing an application using database. Okay. And if you are actually developing applications using databases, I would recommend, because you're starting at a very early stage, to use SQLite. Let me give you what I'm talking about. SQLite. So this is another like database management software or package. Okay, this is available for Python. You can just use SQLite. You don't even need to download it. It's just a Python package. You can just pip install SQLite. Okay, and you will be done. That part will be done in the next section of this session. Okay, on SQL. Today we
Okay.
will be going through the commands, simple commands. Okay. First, let's see what do we have available. So, and one more thing, this online editor which I'm using as Program is Z. Okay. They provide a lot of
Programming.
already well-crafted tables. So I don't need to create anything. But suppose I actually want to create anything. Okay. Let's start by creating tables. Okay. So how would I create a table? I will basically write create. See, as soon
Make
as I write,
table.
okay,
Then
yes. And let me zoom in. Create table. Say, now here I want to say something. We can create a student table or anything. I actually think about, because I just now did a session with the juniors. Okay. Here. I would like to create an anime table. Okay. And suppose I am creating it. Then I can just inside the brackets mention. Okay, by the way, this is the format. Okay. So create table, which is the keyword, then the name of the table, which is anime. Then I am entering the brackets, means the parameters or the attributes. Okay. So what attributes I'm going to have? I'm going to add, say, anime ID. Okay, something like that. And suppose I'm going to have the anime ID as an integer. Okay. And I want it to be as a primary key. What should I write to have it as a primary key?
primary key.
Very good. Primary key. Okay. Fine. Now after this, suppose I want to have something else. Okay. I want to store the anime title. So I will just do title, and then I will write matlab the, just like previously I did int.
Work.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Varchar.
Oh.
Okay. So, I think Ansh is answering. So you are getting everything, right?
सर मैं ही बोल रहा हूँ.
Oh, अच्छा, सोमजीत बोल रहा है. Okay, okay.
वो तो चुप.
Okay. Wait, let me just quickly go and grab the Google Meet. Yeah, Ansh, you are getting it then? Or are you feeling shy?
हाँ
Okay, very good.
नहीं
Let's
yes,
continue.
got it.
Okay, okay, then let's
I think
continue.
he is feeling tired.
He's tired.
I think so.
Okay, okay.
I-
Just watch a few stuff. Okay, all the things will be provided to you. Don't worry. So let me put a limit to the title, even though there are anime titles which are going on as very long anime titles, but क्या ही कर सकते हैं उसमें. Okay, so let's just put it at 100. Okay. Now the point is that we cannot have a anime which is without title, right? So I have something called not null. Means you cannot have this field blank. Field नहीं, attribute as blank
ए, वहाँ
attribute.
पे 100 क्यों लिखे?
Yes, 100
Full
means it
limit.
will be 100 characters. Okay. If you want, you can have it as 200 characters as well. Okay. Or anything. Understandable?
हाँ.
Suppose
अगर
now
वहाँ
your
पे कुछ भी ना दे तो मतलब
Uh,
जितना लिख सकते
yeah,
हैं, जितना
जितना-
जितना लिख सकते हैं.
yeah, that's the point. If you don't write anything, then probably you can write anything here. Okay. Probably क्यों बोल रहा हूँ? क्योंकि this SQL is sometimes behaves a little bit differently. So basically you will see where char behavior in MySQL versus Postgres. Okay. Similar and distinct. Achha, yeah, these are two same. Okay, okay, fine. So both can declare with a length specifier to the limit. Yeah, this is the limit. Okay, and this can store up to this many bytes. Okay, which is 65,535 bytes. It can store. Fine. But yeah, this is the point. MySQL. Here I was looking for it. This is the difference. Okay. Can you just read this real quick? So when you don't have a limit to it, you will see that MySQL will limit it to something like this, whereas in Postgres it will behave like a text and can have virtually unlimited length up to 1 GB in practice. Okay, which is up to these many characters. Okay, so there is a little bit of difference when you don't do it without the parent limit. And this difference comes because of how Postgres handles data and how MySQL handles data. You know, like if you use Postgres or MySQL or what is there, I think Cockroach DB is also there, but whatever. Point is that,
Cockroach?
yeah, there is another thing. Let me show you. Cockroach DB, something like that. Yeah, Cockroach DB. Okay.
Wow.
So what I was going to say, that if you basically have like varchar and all this, the commands are exactly the same. Okay, the commands are exactly the same, but you will see that the behavior might be different because the underlying program that actually handles the inputs are different. Okay, that's a small thing, but please understand that these are things that you probably will not get to learn from a lot of different your colleges or even schools. Okay, this you get to learn if you work with a lot of different databases, and later you get to know that, oh, this behaves differently. Okay, next, let's go. I'm making genre. Okay, so genre, again I'm making varchar, and again I am basically putting a limit to it, and probably a genre of 50, or let's say again 100. Let's put it at 100 will work. Okay, next I'm going to give an episode count. So episodes, okay, so I give it episodes or episode. Let's give it at episodes, so it will be an integer. After that, what I can do, I can have something like a rating. Okay, and that rating could be in decimal, let's say. So I haven't used decimal. Yeah, decimal or float, whichever you want. Okay, so decimal, and here I'm going to give you an example that decimal you can format it. Okay, so if I write decimal 3,1, do you remember that what does 3,1 basically means?
No.
So it basically means I can have 3-digit, and one basically means suppose it is 3 digits, and then one means after decimal point there will be one character. That's it. So it will be something like 5.7, 8.7 out of 10. Okay, you get it, right? Any issues? Okay. Next we have release year. Release year, when it was released. Okay, and here I can have int, or even I can have date. Okay, so whatever you want, I can go with date or int. It's fine. Let me go for simplicity int. Okay, now after I do it, if I just basically run the query, run the SQL, see what's going to happen. See, another anime table got created. Okay, so let me see if I can actually adjust this. I don't think I can adjust, but whatever. On the side, see this on the side. Here in the view, you will see that the name of the table is anime. The anime ID is there, title is there, genre, episodes, and whatever we created is there. Okay. Any problem with regards to anything up till now?
नहीं मैं वो 3,1 बना और ऐसे रिपीट कर दे.
हाँ, जरूर. So basically you have 3 characters, say 10, 1, 0.4. Okay. So it basically means you can have at most 3 characters, and out of which one character will be after decimal. That's it.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Fine. Now let's
Yeah,
continue.
fine.
I'm going to basically take already made query because it's going to be long enough, which I'm not going to type right now. This is the query that I'm going to have. Insert into the table. So what is the name of the table? Anime. What I'm going to insert? The anime ID, title, genre, episodes, rating, release year. And the values that I'm going to have will be in form of this sets. Okay, these are simple brackets. Okay, first bracket. First I'm going to enter Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, then Death Note, Attack on Titan, Your Name, One Piece. And these are the ratings and everything that I'm going to enter. So do you have any
अरे
queries
अपने
about this
रिलीजियन
query? हाँ बोलो.
अपने शायद से रिलीज ईयर नहीं डाला है टेबल में.
Release year डाला है तो देख.
वो डाला है. सॉरी.
Yes. Okay. So if I run this query, see executed completely and see table में जो है ये सब insert हो गया. Okay.
भैया डेट के लिए क्या कोई अलग से होता है?
हाँ डेट के लिए होता है. मैंने यहाँ पे int यूज किया for simplicity. You will see that date is actually a type in SQL. Date type in SQL. I think I showed you in the theory class. We actually wrote down the different formatting of dates as well. See here. These are the date functions in SQL. They are a little bit sometimes difficult because there is a date time, there is a timestamp, there is a year formatting and all this. Okay. And this following data types for storing a date. Okay. This is why this is date format, this is date time format, this is timestamp and all. Okay.
Okay.
Chalega. Now here comes the next part, which will be interesting, which is running queries. Okay. So let's say I'm going to select. Okay, I think this is not visible. Zoom. Select. Okay, let's do a very simple thing. Select star. Okay, from the table name, say anime. Okay, and I run this query. What's going to happen? It basically prints out the whole table. Hello, hello, hello.
भैया आपने तो
हम्म.
भैया
अभी
आपने
सुने.
तो वो वाला टेबल इरेज कर दिया
कौन सा?
अभी अभी जो पहले बनाए थे.
ये तो है देखो. एनिमे टेबल है. ओ अच्छा, यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द क्वेरी.
हाँ
अच्छा, मैं ये जो तुम देख रहे हो ना, ये टर्मिनल की तरह समझ लो. ठीक है. सो इफ आई हैव सम प्रीवियस क्वेरी, देन दैट क्वेरी विल रन अगेन. ओके. सपोज यहाँ पे जो मैंने पेस्ट किया था, अगर मैं इसको फिर से रन कर दूं, तो इट विल एक्चुअली कोलाइड विद दिस ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्टिंग क्वेरीज. ओके. तो लेट्स सी दिस unique constraint failed. It will collide. Okay, because I already have the anime IDs and these are entering it into the same thing. Okay, that's why I deleted it. This is the query that will be running again. After that, I wrote select star from the table. सेव हो चुका है वही. So अभी देखो मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ. मैं कर रहा हूँ select star from anime. So इसमें अगर मैं इसको रन कर दूं तो basically it will print out the whole table. Okay, star means to have everything. But now I don't want to have everything from this anime table. Suppose I just want to have something like a title. Okay, title, and this title will be too much, like too less. Let's say rating. Okay, I just want to see what's the title and the rating. And if I just run the query, you will see that I only get the title and the rating from the anime table. Okay, and suppose I want to get the anime rating which are having greater than 9 or something like that. Okay, let me see what do we have the ratings for. So there are two anime which currently don't have the rating. Please no one kill me. These are just some random data that I took. Okay, so probably their rating is better, but whatever. The point is, if I just put where, okay, one more thing. Suppose you will see that I'm writing select from as capital letters, but suppose if I just write it in small, that is also fine. Yeah, because SQL doesn't differentiate between capital keywords and small keywords. Okay, like uppercase keyword and lowercase keyword. So it's fine if I just write it in like caps or down, but title, rating, anime, table name, and all this thing will be very much case sensitive. Okay, you got it? What I just said means, suppose you have any field name or any table name, if that is case sensitive, then of course it will be case sensitive. But if you have something keywords like select, form, or where, these are not case sensitive. Okay. Now where rating is greater than 9, if I do it, then only I'm going to get 2 anime here which are greater than 9. But if I do greater than or equal to 9, I think, do I have anything at 9? Yeah, I have one as 9. Okay. So if I just do greater than equal to 9, then I'm going to get one piece as well. So is this understandable? कोई problem है क्या इसमें? कोई problem है? नहीं. Okay. Now suppose I want to basically run different types of query. Okay. Let me run something like how many total episodes are there in the whole anime this episode. Okay, so if I just add all this up, I want to add this column, episodes column. So how I'm going to add this column? First I need to select that column. Okay, so select the column name is what? Episodes, right? Episodes from the name from the table anime. Okay, so if I just run this query, what I'm going to get? I'm going to get the column. Okay, now suppose I run this query, okay, but I run it like this. So I run it as the sum operation. So this is the sum operation that I'm going to do over the column name episodes. Okay. Now if I just run the query, you will see that I'm going to get the summation of the episodes. But see what is written. Sum of episodes. Okay. Now this write-up doesn't really look that good, right? This write-up doesn't really, okay, something is showing. Think so. Okay, keep it up, bro. Fine. Someone commented on my YouTube video. So now let's continue. This sum episodes is not there. Let's do something else. Let's do as, like I was going to say the as command. So basically I want it to be printed in a different like field name. So I call it, let's say, total episode. Okay, total episodes. So let me do that. If I run the query, you will see that the name sum of episodes that changed to total episodes. Okay, this is only valid for this query. So is that understandable?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Now suppose I want to get all the anime released after a particular year. So let's say I want to select, or let's say select means basically I want to print or display the title and let's say the release year. Okay, from the anime anime table where the release year is after, let's say, any year, let's say 2010. Okay, something like that. So if I run this, you will see that only these two are getting printed. So these are simple queries. Okay. Are there any questions?
No.
No. Okay. Now we are done with the simple queries. Let's do something a little bit different. Okay, because we already have a lot of these customers, orders, and all this. We can use it, right? We can use this thing to do multiple queries. अच्छा, अभी तक जो है select and where you are familiar with, right? Now let's use order by and all this. What happened? Oh, okay. So suppose I want to क्या ही करे? Do I have anything here? I can get this order tables. Okay. So here there is amount. Suppose I want to print out the orders such that I get the highest order first. That means the order for the monitor should be at the first and then followed by this 400 orders, keyboard, and this other orders. Okay, so how would I get let's say ordered by or a ranked list, or not list but a ranked query? Okay, so I can just do select the item and the amount from the table order. Was it order or orders? I think, wait, let me see. It's orders. That's why it's getting highlighted, because order is a keyword. Orders. Okay, so if I just run this query, I'm going to get the items. Okay, but I want it to be ordered by the amount. Okay, so I can just write more about on this query. So order by amount. Okay, if I run this query again, you will see. Okay, just a second, I'm getting a call. Okay, fine. Excellent. I'm streaming right now. Okay, let's continue. I'm getting the order as in the ascending order. Okay, but I want the highest order first. Then I would just use the keyword DESC. DESC means descending. Okay, if I run the query, you will see that I'm getting it in the descending order. Okay, is that fine?
Okay.
Chalega? Okay. Acha, now there is one more interesting thing that you might ask. That amount was an integer, right? So suppose I do it run this query, instead of like an integer, I run it with the item. Okay, let's see what happens if you order by an item. That's the name of the item. You will see that, okay, their order is happening, but see the M characters are coming first and then the key. That means this is ordering by the alphabets. So you can not only use the order by for integers, but you can also use it for strings. So is this understandable? Okay, very good. Now let's continue our journey with the SQL commands. Next command that I would like to show you is distinct. Oh, by the way, suppose I want to do some comments. Okay, so I will say get all unique. Let me see, what do I have? I can get the countries. Okay, see that there are US and UK and all this. So get all the unique countries. Okay, so that is there. But see, how did I comment? I commented using two M dashes or dashes. Okay, using that you can add comments to your SQL terminal. Now let me select all the. Let me do select country from the table. I think that the name of the table was customers, so it is capital C, US customers. Hopefully that is correct. Let's run this query. See, I'm getting the countries, but now I suppose want to get the unique country, which is USA, UK, and UAE. So for that, what I will just do, I will just add another keyword, which is distinct. Okay, if I just add another keyword distinct and run the query, you will see that I am only getting the distinct country. Okay, understandable? Okay, very good. Now let's get to the next part. Now I would like to show you the concept of aggregate functions. So what are aggregate functions? Aggregate functions are like when you run queries over these columns, just like the sum was an aggregate function. There are also aggregate functions like averages, maximum, minimum, counting, and all this. Okay, so let me show you. So why am I writing is my E not working or what? I don't know. So let's do select age from customers. Okay, so let me just run the query. You will see that I have printed out the ages. Okay, which is good. But now suppose I want to find the average age of the customer. I will just do avg and run this and run the average function over the age. And if I run this, I'm getting the average, which is 25.6. Now you see that again, I don't like this AVG of age. I'm going to basically make it, name it as a average age. Okay, average age field. Okay. Now if I run it, the name of the field will change to average. Oh, did I do average? Sorry. Average age. Okay. Now if I run the query, you will see that this is average age. Okay. Nice. Chalega?
हाँ
Okay. Now let's continue. Oh, by the way, we can do more such queries. Not only average, we can do the maximum age as well. We can just do the max. Of course, then it won't be max age. So average age, it will be max age. Okay, let's run. And the maximum age is 31. You can just go ahead on the table and see that, oh, it is actually 31. Just like that, not only max, you can just do min as well. So max के बाद min भी देख लो. तो यहाँ पे देख लो minimum age, and of course change this alias. Okay, change it to min. Otherwise, you will see the maximum age, but you will get the minimum age. Okay, this now shows the minimum age and also gives you the minimum age. Okay. Not only that, suppose you want to count the number of, say this, I'm using the customers. So if you want to count the number of customers here, okay, you can also do that. Say I want to count the number of customers. So you basically first let's print the customers. Okay, so if I just want to print all the customers, I will just do star from customers. Okay, so if I just do that and run the query, you will see that, okay, I printed out everything, but I wanted to find the number of, let's say, total customers. Okay, so then I'm going to basically have it as count function. Okay, there is a function which counts it. Okay, let me do that, run it, and you will see it gives me the customers as 5. But if you see that the customers here, there is like, okay, there is nothing that is repeated now. Okay, let me not do that from here. Let me do it from the orders. Orders one. Let's run it. See, in the orders we are getting 5. Even though you will see that there are orders which are repeated, which is keyboard here is repeated. Okay, but see, the customer ID is different, but the order ID is the same. If you go back to here, you will see that currently we don't really understand that which one is actually the primary key. Okay, because of the way that this has been laid out, but you can also check that as well. I'm going to show that. Just give me some time. Now, what I was going to show, so after this, you are getting the count, means the number of rows that exist in a table in your database. Okay, fine. Now suppose I want to get something like
फिर
this
से एक बार
thing.
रिपीट कर दीजिए
हाँ, एक बार ये वाला रन करके देख लूं. Now this is showing is this thing because the customer IDs are different and because we are checking between this thing. Yeah, so what you are asking? Please ask again.
एक बार फिर से रिपीट कर दीजिए ये वाला
कौन सा?
अभी यही लास्ट में समझाया थे
Okay. Let me repeat this part. So if I do select star from orders, what are you going to get? You are going to get the whole table, right? But suppose I want to find the number of records in the table. I will just wrap it around the function count. Okay. Got it? And run it. And the count that I am getting is 5. Now the point is that if you go to the orders table, you will see that there are 5 orders where there is repetition, right? So suppose I don't want this repetition because see, keyboard is ordered twice. There is, I think, anything else? Yeah, keyboard is ordered twice. But why am I getting it as 5? Because it is not giving me the distinct, or is there anything else? What do you think is going on? So basically, if I don't have the count, the whole table is getting printed, na? So that means it is checking if their table rows or the table records are the same or not. Okay. Wait, YouTube is not receiving enough quality. So is there any issue? Just a second. Let me quickly check it out. What do you think is going on? So basically, if I don't have the count, the whole table is getting... Okay, no. I don't know why it is showing like that, but fine. My question is that I have this thing, keyboard repeated, but yet when I'm doing count, I want the distinct things, right? But when I do star, it means it will print everything. So it will have different customer IDs. Okay. So this keyboard, the line number 1 keyboard and the line number 4 keyboard are having different customer ID as well as the order ID is different. That's why the count is 5. But suppose I want to count the item, unique items. So then I will just do item here. Okay. And then if I run the query, you will see that still I'm getting the item as 5. That means I am counting the row. But then if I do distinct here, will I still get it as 5? Still I'm getting it as 5 because there needs to be some changes that we need to make to the query to find the distinct items from the order table. Can you get my question? Is my question clear?
Can you repeat the question?
My question is that देख भाई यहाँ पे जो ऑर्डर का टेबल है यहाँ पे 2 कीबोर्ड है ठीक है पर यहाँ पे कितने आइटम्स है यूनिक आइटम्स कितने हैं अगर मुझे यूनिक आइटम चाहिए तो मैं कैसे निकालूं यही मेरा क्वेश्चन है समझा सो अभी बोल कैसे निकालो अगर मैं यहाँ पे सपोज काउंट को डिलीट कर दूं ओके अभी अगर रन करूं तो अभी क्या आ गया अभी सारे आइटम्स आ गए बट नाउ दीज आर डिस्टिंक्ट आइटम्स राइट मैंने क्या क्योंकि बिकॉज आई पुट डिस्टिंक्ट हियर राइट सो हाउ कैन आई गेट द काउंट ऑफ द डिस्टिंक्ट आइटम्स if I do something like count and then I do distinct item, will this work? Let's see. Now this time it worked. Did you get it? I was basically combining different queries for you to understand कि कैसे तुमको distinct item चलेगा और उसका count भी तुमको लेना है. अब इसमें तुम बोल सकते हो जे as क्या बोलूं distinct items distinct items. Okay, and then you run the query and you will get the distinct items as 4. Understandable? कोई दिक्कत?
नहीं
Clear है? Okay. Please remember in your school this kind of questions will be there or even in your boards will be there. How to get the count of the distinct items from a table. These are very common questions, so please practice. Okay?
Okay.
Now suppose I am going to now the next part I am going to show you is group by, but which table to use, that's the point. Let's use customers table. Okay. Now this table if I use, so let's first print the stuff. Okay, select again, this is not working. Select country and let's say just let's print the country. Okay, from the table customers. Okay, now if I just run the query, you'll see I am getting all the country. Okay, now suppose I want to find the number of customers that are coming from each country. You get it right? The number of customers that are coming from each country. So suppose I print the country, comma, the count for, let's say for that table. So I can just do count for the table means count of the whole table. Start. Okay. If I just do that, then I will get USA. There is count is 5. Does it make sense? Are there 5 people coming from USA? The answer is no. What it means? It means it will print the count, country, okay, country, and then it will print the count of the whole table. So remember, when you're writing query, this kind of queries are called garbage queries. This doesn't mean anything. Okay. This is a very good example of a garbage query, because what you wanted was the number of customers per country. But see, even though the output of the query looks like there are 5 customers coming from USA, but this is not exactly the count. So here is the place where understanding how database query work will come really in handy. So what should we do? We need to group by the country. Okay. So if I just use group by the country, now if I run the query, it will group the what do you call this, countries with the customers. So it is UAE, UK, USA. Now it makes sense, right? So there are, let's go. See, there are 2 people from USA, 2 people from UK, and 1 people from UAE, which makes sense, right? Now again,
Yeah.
this thing as doesn't make sense, country and count. Okay, let's again put an alias to it, which would be something like the number of customers. Let's run the query, and now this makes more sense, right? Fine, chalega? Okay, good. Let's continue our whole search, or let's say the whole class, whatever. This is like an adventure. Okay, like running SQL queries is like an adventure, like taking out suppose I want to print this, suppose I want to do that. Okay, how to do that? It's like a very cool adventure that I like, because when I was in your age, I used to run a lot of different SQL queries and play around with different databases. Okay, I used to make my own database of anime and my friends, and then used to like do random stuff. Okay, it was fun. So now suppose I want to get the total order amount from per customer. Okay, so per customer means I will use the orders table. So here you will see that I have the customer ID. Okay. Now I can basically get the customer ID and print out the orders. So I can get the customer ID as well as the amount. Okay. But see that suppose there is this customer, which is 4, and he has spent on mouse and keyboard. So I need to be able to also recognize that there are there may exist multiple entries where the customer is the same, but the items are different. Okay. So I am going to first do a simple thing. Customer ID, and I want to print the amount. Okay. And from which table? I'm going to do it from the orders table. Okay, if I do something like this, what's going to happen? I'm just going to print the 2 columns. Okay, now this thing is ready. This thing is ready means for analysis. Now what should I do? I need to group by, right? I need to basically group by, and the same thing will happen. Let's do a group by. So group by the customer ID. So if I just do a group by the customer ID, you will see that I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. But now see, customer ID 4 is listed at 400. No, this guy has bought items worth 700 rupees. That means somewhere even my grouping is there, but the amount was not getting total summed up. So that means I need to do a summation function over the amount. Okay. So let me do a summation function. And after doing a summation function, you will see that customer 4 is now listed at 700. That means the summation worked. So is this understandable and clear? कुछ दिक्कत है तो बोल सकते हो.
भाई ये वाला पार्ट समझ नहीं आया.
ओके, क्या समझ में नहीं आया? थोड़ा सा बोलो, विचारित करो.
मतलब आपने क्या किया ये समझ नहीं आया.
ओ अच्छा. मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि मुझे एक एक कस्टमर का कितना वो स्पेंड कर रहा है वो निकालना है। कैसे निकालना है? तो मैं कस्टमर आईडी ले रहा हूँ और उसका जो टोटल है, ठीक है, वो कस्टमर का जो अमाउंट है वो मैं सम कर रहा हूँ। ठीक है, कैसे सम कर रहा हूँ? उस ग्रुप करके कि कस्टमर पर कस्टमर आईडी को मैं ग्रुप कर रहा हूँ। ओके, सो बेसिकली आई एम टेकिंग द कस्टमर आईडी and the items, okay, items mean basically the amount that he has spent, and I'm grouping it using the customer ID. means यहाँ पे देखो 4 और 4 दो बार है, ठीक है। ये लेके मैं इन दोनों को जो है एक साथ में ग्रुप कर रहा हूँ, और ग्रुप करने के बाद मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, उनका जो अमाउंट है वो मैं सम कर रहा हूँ। समझ में आया? या अभी भी समझ में नहीं आया तो
हाँ
बोल सकते हो,
हाँ भाई।
नहीं आया तो बोल सकते हो, इट्स फाइन।
समझ आ रही।
आ गया? ठीक है, सोमोजीत
हाँ
हाँ
आ
भैया।
गया? ओके, ओके ग्रेट।
हाँ
सो ये हो गया हमारा टोटल अमाउंट ऑन दिस कस्टमर आईडी एंड ऑल दिस। अब क्या कर सकते हैं? लेट्स ग्रुप बाय हो गया। नेक्स्ट आई एम गोइंग टू गिव यू एन आइडिया ऑन हैविंग। ओके, सो हैविंग इज लाइक अ फिल्टर। जैसे तुम सपोज यूट्यूब में या फिर कहाँ पे और बोलूँ, फ्लिपकार्ट में जाके जो है तुम फिल्टर्स जैसे लगाते हो, वैसा तुम इन क्या बोलूँ एसक्यूएल डेटाबेसेस के ऊपर भी फिल्टर्स लगा सकते हो। सो बेसिकली यू कैन सिलेक्ट, लेट्स से मैंने डिलीट क्यों कर दिया भाई, या सिलेक्ट कस्टमर आईडी, सम अमाउंट। यहाँ पे ना लेट मी पुट एन एलियस एज समथिंग लाइक टोटल स्पेंड और समथिंग लाइक दैट। ओके, टोटल amount spent, okay, amount spent, okay, something like this. Now from orders this is fine, and then again group by the customer id. Okay, so मैंने बस यहाँ पे alias दिया है। let me just run this command. so यहाँ पे बस alias करके ऐसे लिखा है, ठीक है। अब मैं सपोज इसमें से मैं उन कस्टमर्स के बारे में जानना चाहता हूँ who have spent more than 500 rupees. okay, so यहाँ पे क्या करूँगा, यहाँ पे करूँगा having is another keyword used for filtering. Okay, having the sum of the amount, just a second, yeah, यहाँ पे दिख रहा है ना, sum of the amount, wait, let me put somewhere here, yes, sum of the amount as greater than 500. Okay, now if I run the query, you will see I will only get the 2 customers who have spent more than 500 rupees. So is this clear? चलेगा?
हाँ
हाँ
Very good. Now comes the major part, जहां से तुम लोगों का सीबीएसई क्वेश्चन तो पूछेगा ही, वो है ज्वाइन। ठीक है, अभी दिखाता हूँ कि कैसे तुम ज्वाइन कर सकते हो, ये कर सकते हो। ठीक है, तो सपोज मैं दोनों चीजें ज्वाइन करना चाहता हूँ। मैं ज्वाइन करना चाहता हूँ दो कॉलम्स से दो टेबल्स। एक है तेरा कस्टमर टेबल और लेट्स से ये ऑर्डर्स टेबल। ठीक है, तो अगर मैं इन दोनों को ज्वाइन करना चाहता हूँ तो मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ, मैं कर सकता हूँ, मैं फिर से क्यों जो है पता नहीं आज बार बार सिलेक्ट में एस ई नहीं लिख रहा, जो भी हो। तो सिलेक्ट, ठीक है, सिलेक्ट I'm going to show this. Okay, I'm going to show you a very cool thing. Okay, cool stuff. C dot first name. Okay, I think it is first name. Let me just go back and see. Yeah, first name. Yeah. C dot first name from customers. Okay. फिर लिखा मैंने C, फिर मैंने ये दिया, फिर भी चला। Now, do you understand what is written here? What does it mean? So if I have just done something like this, first name from customer, will it work? It will still work. If I do C dot first name, will it work? It will still work as the same. So what is the difference? देख के क्या लग रहा है? देख के क्या ही लग रहा है? हाँ,
कॉपी कॉपी हुआ होगा।
Copy nahi.
Just yes.
This is like a alias. Okay. Alias for the table means instead of writing the customers table again and again, suppose I don't write the C, then you will face the error. If you just do it like this, then of course you will face the error. But if I do something like this, customers dot first name, okay, then I will still get it. Okay, so basically instead of writing, like I want to select a particular attribute from a particular table, now I could write customers dot first name, okay, because these are like classes, okay, these are like objects inside a class or functions inside a class. So I can do customers dot first name from customers. But why should I write the table name again and again and again? I don't want to do that. So basically I can just declare the customers table as C, and then I will just change this this whole table name to C. Okay. And then if I run the query, it will work. So is this aliasing of the table concept is clear to you? Is it clear? दोनों को समझ में आया?
हाँ भैया.
Okay. Now this if the aliasing is clear, let's not only print the first name, but let's also do the last name. Okay. So last name, and let's just run the query. So first name and the last name. Very good. No problem. Now suppose I want to also basically control A C B, फिर से एक और क्वेरी में रन करना चाहता हूँ. ओके, but now I want to do it from the orders table. Okay, so let me print the item and the amount. Okay, so I will just do o dot item and o dot amount. Okay, from the table customers तो नहीं है ना, वो क्या कौन सा टेबल है? orders, right? orders table को क्या नाम दिया है? o. ठीक है. Now if I run the query, you will see that I am printing two tables. One is the for the customers table and the another is the orders table. Okay, now I want to join these two tables. Okay, how would I do that? How would I do that? Okay,
भैया कुछ
get-
भी नाम दे सकते हैं.
हाँ कुछ भी नाम दे सकते हो. इसको ओ की जगह तुम्हारा नाम बोलो अंश. ठीक है, ANSH, सॉरी SH. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे मुझको लिखना होगा ANSH. चल नाम दे दो, फिर भी काम करेगा. ठीक है, कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर? कुछ भी नाम दे सकते हो.
हाँ.
Okay, what I'm showing you all this because your concepts need to be very clear while writing the SQL commands. Okay, now what my point is, I want to print basically the customers and the orders together. Okay, like instead of having this kind of something like this customer ID, I want to see the customer who bought this thing. Okay, the first name and the last name. How would I do that? So पहले क्या करना है? पहले तो एक काम करो, ये सिलेक्ट यहाँ से हटाओ और ये जो है एक साथ प्रिंट करना है. ठीक है, तो मुझको जो है ये ऑर्डर नेम और ये क्या बोलते हैं आइटम, ऑर्डर आइटम और अमाउंट एक साथ प्रिंट करना. ठीक है, कर दिया. ऑर्डर आइटम और अमाउंट प्रिंट करना है. कहाँ से प्रिंट करना है? कस्टमर्स से प्रिंट करना है. तो कस्टमर्स के पास तो सारा इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं है ना, कस्टमर्स के पास तो सारा इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं है. तो इसको क्या करोगे? इसको तुम ज्वाइन करोगे. ठीक है, इसको तुम ज्वाइन करोगे विद द टेबल ऑर्डर्स ओ ऑन. ज्वाइन करते समय यू नीड, अच्छा वैसे अगर मैं ये रन कर दूं, ज्वाइन कर दिया डायरेक्ट, अभी अगर कर दोगे तो ऐसा आएगा. रिमेंबर कार्टेशियन प्रोडक्ट, दिस इज द कार्टेशियन प्रोडक्ट. ओके, you will get a lot of combinations, but this doesn't make any sense, right? We don't want these kind of combinations. Okay, this doesn't mean anything. Is the John Reinhardt buying all this thing again and again? John Reinhardt is not, so this is customer number 4, right? So he did not buy monitor, but it is showing that he also bought monitor, which may, these are actually, remember, these queries needs to be very accurate. Okay, so when you are developing logic for a company while doing queries through the databases, you cannot just write anything because the database will return you whatever you ask it. Okay. So currently your query or the query that is written here doesn't make any sense. So is this understandable?
हाँ भैया
ठीक है.
हाँ
बट
भैया
बट ये तो फिर तो हमको जो है स्मार्टली क्वेरी लिखना होगा. तो हमको क्या करना है, हमको जो है मैच कराना है कस्टमर आईडी यहाँ से और यहाँ से. ठीक है. तो बेसिकली हम करेंगे ऑन इज अनदर कीवर्ड, सी डॉट कस्टमर आईडी ओके इक्वल टू ओ डॉट कस्टमर ID means whenever the customer ID is on this table and this table match, then only do the join. Now see, it makes sense. Right. Now it makes sense. Do you get it?
हाँ भैया
कोई दिक्कत है? किसी को भी दिक्कत है बोल सकते हो.
नहीं
नहीं है. चल वेरी गुड. चलो एक क्वेरी जो है मैं अभी तुम लोगों को देता हूँ लिखने के लिए. ठीक है. फास्ट लिखना है. सपोज मैं, या मेरे पास और क्या है, शिपिंग है. ठीक है. तो आई वांट टू गेट द कस्टमर्स एंड देयर शिपिंग. ओके. लाइक व्हाट इज देयर, लेट्स से क्या वो शिपिंग स्टेटस ऑफ ईच एंड एवरी कस्टमर. ओके. द फर्स्ट नेम एंड द शिपिंग स्टेटस. हाउ वुड आई डू दैट? यू गेट इट राइट? ओके वेरी गुड. सो बेसिकली यहाँ पे फर्स्ट नेम चाहिए और क्या चाहिए, और जो है मुझे यहाँ से अमाउंट कुछ नहीं चाहिए. सो सपोज मैं शिपिंग को जो है एस से डिनोट कर रहा हूँ. ठीक है. मैंने अभी तक लिखा नहीं है, मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि मैं जब बाद में लिखूंगा उसको जो है शिपिंग एस कर दूंगा. ठीक है. तो एस डॉट स्टेटस. ठीक है. उसको उसका स्टेटस चाहिए फ्रॉम कस्टमर्स, जो कि ज्वाइन होगा किसके साथ, जो कि ज्वाइन होगा शिपिंग के साथ. ठीक है. शिपिंग टेबल SIPPINGS शिपिंग टेबल, जिसको मैं बोल रहा हूँ एस ऑन, जहां पे कस्टमर आईडी और वहां पे देखो शिपिंग में कौन है, शिपिंग में है बस कस्टमर. ठीक है. तो यहाँ पे होगा एस डॉट कस्टमर आईडी नहीं होगा, यहाँ पे कस्टमर होगा. ठीक है. तो लेट्स रन इट एंड यस आई एम गेटिंग द फर्स्ट नेम एंड द स्टेटस ऑफ देयर ऑर्डर्स.
कोई कस्टमर की होगा कस्टमर आईडी की जगह. अच्छा,
अरे क्योंकि
वो
यहाँ टेबल
समझ
टेबल
गया,
टेबल में ऐसा, अरे
समझ गया.
इसने बना के दिया था. ठीक है.
समझ
Good. Now let's continue. Now we are going to run like different kind of subqueries. Okay. This next we are going to run subqueries. Okay. If anyone if any one of you watch this YouTube video later, कभी अगर टाइम मिले तो टाइम स्टैम्प ऐड कर देना. ठीक है. कि कौन से टाइम स्टैम्प में क्या पढ़ा रहा हूँ. ओके. There's just something you can do that. Okay. Let's go. Select first name from customers. Let's do from customers. Suppose यहाँ पे एक बार देखो तो सारे कस्टमर ने क्या ऑर्डर प्लेस किया है? नहीं किया ना. यहाँ पे बस देखो जस्ट 1 2 3 4 ने किया है. सो सपोज मैं उन कस्टमर के बारे में जानना चाहता हूँ who have placed an order. Okay, you get my point, right? So if I just do select the first name from the customers, where I can do a query like this, where customer ID exists, but in is another keyword. Okay, a customer ID is in there. Remember the projection operator in relational algebra? So this is what I'm going to do the projection here. In the field which is the customer ID, customer ID from the table orders. Okay, now I'm going to run this query. See, these are the name of the customers who placed an order. ये क्या समझ में आ रहा है? मैं बस क्या कर रहा हूँ, first name from the customers where the customer ID from this customers table exists in this table. Okay, is this clear?
हाँ भैया।
Okay, good. Now suppose I want to get the first name and the last name of the customer who placed the maximum order value. मतलब सबसे ज्यादा मेरा भाई कौन कस्टमर है जिसने मेरे से सबसे ज्यादा वैल्यू का सामान खरीदा, ठीक है? सो इफ आई जस्ट डू सिलेक्ट कस्टमर आईडी फ्रॉम ऑर्डर्स, सॉरी वो कैपिटल है ना, ऑर्डर्स, then I can just do order by amount, and I can just do in the descending order, and I'm going to take the first row or the first record, which is limit 1. If I just run this query, then I will get the customer ID 3. Okay, 3 who bought the monitor is the maximum spender, but suppose I want to find his name, then how would I do that? I would just basically, this is the query, right? Now it returns the customer ID. Careful, ये देख लो, ये क्या रिटर्न कर रहा है? कस्टमर आईडी रिटर्न कर रहा है. So I can just select the first name and also the last name if I want to, whatever. So last name from the customers table. Okay, customers table where the customer ID, so it will be customer ID is equal to this subquery. Okay, now if I run this, I will see this is the guy who bought the maximum, मतलब जो बहुत सबसे ज्यादा सामान खरीदा है. So this kind of subquery is clear, like basically using subquery to match the main query. चलेगा?
नहीं भैया, नहीं समझा।
नहीं समझा? ओके भाई, चलो समझाते हैं. यहाँ पे देखो, कंट्रोल एक्स, ये वाला समझ में है? ये क्वेरी, इसमें क्या प्रॉब्लम है बोल सकते हो? Is there any problem with this? Select customer ID from orders, order by amount in the descending order, and the limit 1 basically means the first row. So what's the issue in this command? यहाँ पे तो कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, राइट?
हाँ
श्योर, कुछ प्रॉब्लम है तो बोल सकते हो.
नहीं है।
नहीं है, okay. Now suppose I basically wrap this in brackets and I select the first name and the last name from this customer column, customer table, and here I try to find the customer ID such that I print the first name and the last name where the customer ID is equal to customer ID 3. Matlab, I could have just done customer 3 here. Okay, if I just delete this and did 3, okay, then it would be the same. Okay, but what I did, I just used this subquery which will give out the answer 3. Okay, now is it understandable? या कुछ प्रॉब्लम है?
हाँ
समझ में आया? तो क्या कर रहे हो तुम मुझको एक बार समझा के दिखाओ. You try to explain it to me.
लिमिट 1 मतलब?
लिमिट 1 बोला ना, फर्स्ट रो, डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डर में जो फर्स्ट रो में जो वैल्यू आएगा वो. अभी भी प्रॉब्लम है? चलो एक काम कर लेते हैं, लिमिट 1 की जगह लिमिट 2 कर लेते हैं. अब देखो क्या होगा. 12,000 है, 12,000 के बाद जो है किसने खरीदा सबसे ज्यादा चीज? आई थिंक ये 400 वाला आएगा, 400 तो अब 2 है, तो ये क्या आएगा? कस्टमर आईडी 4 और कस्टमर आईडी 1। लेट्स सी। ओ लिमिट 2 कर दिया। वह कस्टमर आईडी, वेट, लिमिट 2 हो गया, डिसेंडिंग हो गया। लेट्स सी क्या हो गया। सो बेसिकली इफ आई जस्ट डू, oh wait, let me just cut it, it's fine। ये देख लो, यहाँ पे कट कर दिया, यहाँ पे लिमिट इक्वल टू 2 कर रहा है, ठीक है। नाउ इफ आई जस्ट रन द क्वेरी, देन इट विल बी 3 and 4 because 3 is 12,000, 4 is 400 and 300। okay, so this is fine। now if I just do control
हाँ
Z, where the customer ID is equal to, यहाँ पे देख लो कि इसका आंसर क्या है, 3 और 4 दे रहा है। ओके, so it should have been
हाँ
multiple queries, but if I just run it, it will just print the first one, which is David Robinson। okay, fine, because it is giving, because दे, अच्छा मैं ये फिर से दिखा देता हूँ क्योंकि कंट्रोल Z में आएगा, नहीं कंट्रोल सिर्फ Z, यस। यहाँ पे देखो, ओह मैंने एक ब्रैकेट छोड़ दिए। यहाँ पे देखो 3 और 4, ठीक है, 3 और 4, बट वहां पे इक्वलिटी क्या है? इक्वलिटी है कि कस्टमर आईडी मस्ट बी मैच विद दिस। नाउ हियर देयर इट विल रिटर्न बोथ द वैल्यूज, but when it is a subquery and the ID should match, it should match with only one of them, and that is the first value it will match with, which is customer ID 3। okay, so even though it is 2, limit 2 means it will show the first 2 people who bought the maximum item. First 2 people who bought the maximum item, if I just basically do this, it will return 3 and 4, but customer ID equal to 3 and 4 means nothing. It will match with the first customer ID that is returned by the subquery, and the first customer ID that is returned by the subquery is 3, and the customer name with 3 is David Robinson। okay, if I run the command, it will give me David Robinson। ये clear है?
हाँ
तो यहाँ पे तुम लिमिट 2 की जगह 1 ही दो, क्योंकि बेसिकली वी वांट द मैक्सिमम पर्स। ओके फाइन।
ओके भाई हाँ
okay, now if this is clear, then we can probably move on with the next part, which would be, let's do case conditional expressions। okay, so here we are going to do cases। okay, केस कैसे काम करता है, इसका क्वेरी में थोड़ा सा बड़ा करके लिख रहा हूँ, so it will take me a little bit of time। so first I'm going to select the item and the amount, yeah, so now I'm going to create a case for it। okay, so I think case, do I need to write it in capital? Nah, it should still be fine। so the case is when, wow, it was weird, why is it enter not working? Whatever, when the, let's say, amount is greater than 10,000। I don't know if this will work because this is I'm doing on this online compiler, okay, for SQL। let's see if it works, because I'm not seeing any syntax highlighting।
केस
let's say
मतलब
if else में जैसे तुम पाइथन में करते हो ना, वैसे ही
कंडीशन
conditions, yes। I am printing different values for it। let's see if it works। give me just a moment, let me do it। and I'm going to just in as from orders. Okay. Now done. Let's run. Yes, it is working. So what I did, I basically chose the item and the amount, and then I created a case. It's like if else. Okay. When the amount is greater than 1000, then I'm going to print high value. See, the amount is greater than 1000, so this is printed as high value. When the amount is between 300 and 1000, then it will print medium value. 300 means 300 included. Okay. And else it will print low value. And this will basically end as order category, means it will be printed under order category, order cat. Okay. From orders. Okay. So this is how you can basically create a case or conditional expressions. Okay. So is this clear?
हाँ
ठीक है चलेगा. Next what I'm going to do is update command. See, let's say Robert. Okay, Robert got his birthday. Now he is, let's say, 23 years old. So I can just update the table as well. So I can update the customer table, update the customers table such that I'm going to set, the keyword is set, the age as what's his age currently? 22, I think. Robert's age is 22. Let's say he got to 23. Basically, this guy is like me. My age got increased so recently. That's why. So where first name is equal to Robert.
ये
Done.
आपका बर्थडे कब है?
ये रिसेंटली गया 30 अगस्त. अभी देख यहाँ पे जा, रॉबर्ट को ढूंढ, उसका देख बर्थडे चेंज हो गया, 23 इयर्स हो गया. ठीक है, मेरी तरह. ओके,
Belated happy birthday भैया.
thanks. So yeah, this is an example where you just update the age. Oh, by the way, you can also delete something from the orders. So I can do that. Let me see what we can delete. We can delete the mouse pad. This is too cheap. The actually mouse pad for 250 is too high though. You know, my mouse pad costs like 100 rupees. And the mouse pad that I used to use before that costed only 20 rupees. Okay. Like for me, my current mouse pad is expensive. And this guy
20
bought,
rupees.
yeah. That's an old mouse pad, bro. That my older mouse pad was like what, 6 or 8 years old. Okay. And that's not now ragged. It's not even a mouse pad. That's just right. So instead, now the point is I'm going to delete. Okay. Delete from the table orders where order ID is equal to 5. Okay, that's the mousepad order. So if I see this before running the query, mousepad 250 or the customer is 2. Now if I run the query, you will see that the table changed and it got deleted. Okay. समझ में आ गया?
हाँ
Okay, bro.
हाँ भैया.
Very good. So now I think do you want to go into how joins work? Inner join, right join, left join and all this? Do you want to?
अगर मैं नहीं बोलूंगा तो क्या होगा भैया?
अगर तू नहीं बोलेगा तो मैं नहीं पढ़ाऊंगा, अगर तू बोलेगा कि पढ़ना है तो मैं पढ़ाऊंगा. सिंपल आंसर.
नहीं, अगर मैं नहीं बोलूंगा तो क्लास के अभी खत्म होगा या आप कोई दूसरा टॉपिक कराओगे?
एक्चुअली तुम लोगों का एसक्यूएल का काम खत्म हो गया है और कुछ नहीं है तुम लोगों के पास. एक चीज और है,
तो
you
भैया
can
अगले दिन
drop
करेंगे.
you can drop a table as well. So basically I don't want to write that command right now. So I will just show you drop table syntax. Okay. Because अगर कुछ और दिखाना है तो I have to make the table again. So you just see the drop the table. If the table exists, then the table name. Okay. It will delete the table.
हाँ, ये
Okay, the whole table. इसीलिए मैं अभी
हाँ.
मार नहीं रहा ये command. Okay. So I think that's the last command that I will show you without going into the join. So the point is, do you want to
भैया वो
know join?
अगले दिन के लिए रहने देते हैं.
अगले दिन के लिए
मैं तो
रहने
बहुत
देते।
tired हूँ।
टायर हो गया। चल ठीक है।
सर
झटापट
पूरा
के
रात सोया नहीं हूँ मैं।
सोया भी नहीं है। चल ठीक है। सो लेट्स जस्ट एंड इट हियर। ओके एंड नहीं मैं let me also stop the streaming. So that's the end of the streaming. Let's just stop it.